Prohibition: what, when, and how did it happen? When? World War I was the first opportunity for the anti-alcohol movement to enable the national ban on alcohol. It then led to the Lever Food and Fuel Control Act. This was argued that the grains needed to distill alcohol were needed as food in the war and not to be used for making of alcohol. A permanent ban on the sale, transportation, importing, and exporting alcohol drinks was written in the 18th Amendment in December 1917. Before all of this, certain states had already passed local bans, and by 1916, 26 out of 46 states had already banned alcohol. Here's a list of the pros that the government thought would happen. Number 1. The noble experiment thought that the nation's health would improve. 2. Crime would decrease. 3. Industries like dairy would succeed. 4. Other types of beverages would become more popular. 5. Juvenile delinquency would be gradually eliminated. 6. Workers' activity would increase. And 7. Increase in economic financial stability. And for the cons, the government could not think of any. In this picture, it shows Malcolm R. Patterson. He was the governor at the time of the Prohibition in Tennessee. In this picture, it shows the Senate Bill number 1 and number 11 that was passed in 1909. This made it illegal to sell or consume alcoholic beverages within a 4-mile radius of a private or public school. The second bill, Bill number 11, banned any alcoholic beverages. The government vetoed both bills, but the General Assembly overrode his decision. As you can see in the next couple of pictures, this small county of Putnam was relevant to the Prohibition. It was a party atmosphere as people went to enjoy their last night of drinking. It caused hotels filled to maximum capacity, local bars and restaurants needing extra help, and packed cars on the local streets. The sheriff in the county noted that alcohol sales were still allowed under state law until the 18th Amendment, which took place in January of 1920 and stated all alcoholic beverages were being outlawed. Soon later, in October of 1931, the Patterson Fire Department was called to this house that was to be unoccupied. They soon realized that there was an illegal beer brewery. They soon had a full-on investigation. It was said, or estimated, that about 300 gallons of beer was found in barrels. They also, a week later, found the owner, Mrs. Lillian F. Lloyd, who was on vacation in Florida at the time, was believed to have started by a burning cigarette butt. In the next couple of slides, you will see just 3% of all the criminals during the Prohibition. There's also a graph showing the homicide rate during the Prohibition. Look at it closely and just imagine to yourself what life would have been during the time period of 1920 to the 1940s. What was really happening during the Prohibition? During March of 1932, 15 restaurants, inns, stores, and private homes located in Putnam County, including Patterson, Putnam Valley, Kent, Carmel, and Phillipstown, had secret breweries. One story was that hundreds of women showed up and cheered as truckloads of liquor was unloaded until about 3/4 of them were arrested, since the banning of alcohol was still in act. As you could see in the last two pictures of the newspaper articles, it says the prohibition was gone. It ended in 1933 and deleted the 21st Amendment from the U.S. Constitution. It was not only a relief to the people that missed alcohol, but also the businesses that made money on liquor. Like everything, the government has rules. Their rules were: number 1, beer could not be sold between the hours of 3 a.m. and noon on Sunday. 2, beer could be sold at bars only if the bar had a state permit. And lastly, beer could be served without food. In the end, Prohibition caused many things, such as crime increasing, murder increased, and bribery of police officers was used. Drug use increased, work productive decreased, jails were filled with minors. So, as you can see, the prohibition might have been good for a little percentage of the people, but definitely not enough to keep it illegal. That's it for now. The end.